Nation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports. It's time for Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, Bank West, Nystrom Electric, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, and American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency.
A fly ball to center field as Spencer Eason is over. For the first time in 2023, roll-eights, and Miles Doyle has thrown a 6-inning no-hitter.
And by Lamb Motors, Todd's Electric, Edward Jones Financial, CHS River Plains, Wagner Auto, Jaeger, Faith Lutheran Church, Leinbach Construction, and First Dakota National Bank.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. Here's a line shot. That's to the left side. Bruce will round second. He's on his way to third. Hansen will see if he pulls up at second. He will. And Matt Hansen will have himself the cycle and an RBI double on top of it. An RBI double for Matt Hansen. He's 4 for 4.
Post 8 Baseball is also brought to you by Avera, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Shane's Pharmacy, Gales Gas, Oahe Federal Credit Union, May Adam, Fisher Rounds, and Ferding Electric.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and roll-eights. Post 8 gets a big 12-9 victory in Game 2 to earn a split over Post 22.
And by True Green Chemelon, Beck Motors, the South Dakota Office of the Attorney General Division of Consumer Protection, Kruger Contracting, Egtegra, AGE Corporation Ready Mix, Stulkin Peterson LLP. Now let's head to the booth for the call of the game with the voice of Post 8 award-winning KCCR Sports Director John Winkler.
And a good afternoon as we welcome you here to Hyde Stadium as Post 8 takes on the Aberdeen Smittys in a doubleheader here this evening, as the Eights will be looking for wins 2 and 3 in the South Dakota games so far in the season, and get also wins 2 and 3 of the season as they come in at 1-11. Aberdeen on the other side, they're coming off of a doubleheader sweep of Brookings at home yesterday, and they are 20-5 overall, 8-3 in South Dakota games, and they're off to a good start. A team that went to the state tournament last year under a new head coach this year, but the same goal stands, and for the Eights, they're looking, or for Aberdeen, they're looking to come in here, take care of business, but the Eights are looking to find their way into trying to get themselves a couple big wins over Aberdeen here today and get themselves going for the weekend when they travel to Minot for a couple of non-conference, non-state games. They will play 4 North Dakota teams, well, 2 North Dakota teams, a team from Montana and a team from Canada in those 4 guaranteed games. We'll talk more about that as the broadcast goes along. But Pierre and Aberdeen here this evening from beautiful Hyde Stadium, and a beautiful day for baseball. It's always a beautiful day for baseball at Hyde Stadium. We've got a good weather on deck for the games tonight, and hopefully good games to bring you here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Also, Hometown Hero Night between games. They will be honoring the Hometown Hero. We'll have that here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports as well. We'll have that on our first game broadcast as well, so you don't have to worry about trying to stay in, get ready for that second game right after the first game's over with in the broadcast. We'll keep it here for the first game broadcast before we get to the break that we'll have between games. But Post 8 and Aberdeen getting set for first pitch coming up here in just a little bit. We'll step aside for 3 minutes. We'll come back with starting lineups, get you set for first pitch. You're listening to Pierre Post 8 Baseball on KCCR, watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Comtech, your local technology solutions provider, is now located on the truck bypass. With great brands like Bose, Sonos, LG, Samsung, Lenovo, and so much more. Stop in to see their new showroom for everything in stock for your personal or business needs. Comtech provides professional installation and service after the sale. Comtech is your local technology store, located now on the truck bypass, or visit us on the web at comtechplus.com.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose Bank West. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. Bank West. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
And we welcome you back here as the Post 8 and Aberdeen Smittys are getting set for first pitch as they introducing the starting lineups right now. We'll go through them as well. First for the visiting Aberdeen Smittys, Drew Southfrank will be the leadoff man. He is playing center field. Cooper Eisenbias will bat second. He is a left fielder for Aberdeen. Zane Backus, the second baseman, will bat third. Philip Zenz, the shortstop, will bat fourth. Brendan Livermont, the third baseman, is in the 5 spots. Jordan Bafas, the DH, will bat 6th. Lance Sifkin, the right fielder, batting 7th. Jackson Ladner, the first baseman, batting 8th. And Talon Dutenhofer, the catcher, will bat 9th for Aberdeen. Grant Byer is on the mound for the Smitties in game number 1. For Pierre Post State, Sun and Shine will lead things off. He's a left fielder. Carter Shufflebind will bat second and play second. Dawson Getz will bat third. He's the shortstop for game 1. J.J. Buckholz will bat cleanup at first base. Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, will bat 5th. Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, will bat 6th. George Stalley back in the lineup. He is playing center and batting 7th. Cooper Twilliger, the DH, will bat 8th. And Nolan Peterson, the catcher, will bat 9th. Miles Doyle will get the start for Post 8 here in game number 1. We'll step aside for another 3 minutes. We'll come back with first pitch after this. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com. Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag, chemical, and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag, chemical, and seed needs. Kyle 605-280-8710 or Tony 605-280-4771.
We welcome you back as we are getting set for first pitch between Pierre and Aberdeen, as Blake Dean will join us here shortly, as the Eights will be looking for win number 2 both in the regular season and in South Dakota games, as they take on Aberdeen here this afternoon from beautiful Hyde Stadium, as we are set for first pitch just a couple of minutes ahead of schedule. And it is going to be a beautiful night for some baseball. A little bit of cloud coverage and some cooler temperatures. 74 degrees right now as we get close to first pitch. Winds out of the east-southeast at 10 miles an hour. Feeling like 73 degrees here in beautiful Pierre, South Dakota, with the humidity at 46%. As it is Drew Southring that will step to the plate. First pitch is on its way and fouled back as we're underway at 4:57 here on this Wednesday afternoon. Getting into the evening hours. Glad you're with us here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Emma Thielen is at the station. John Winkler here on a beautiful day at Hyde Stadium. 0-1 pitch is upstairs from Miles Doyle. The count's now 1-1. Pierre wearing their white jerseys with the white pants. You get the green hats and the black bills. It says 8s across the jersey for Pierre Post State, as Miles Doyle will throw strike 2 at the knees, and the count's now 1-2 to Drew Southring. Aberdeen wearing their all gray jerseys. Smittys across the front with the black lettering to it. The 1-2 pitch, ground ball on the left side. That is fielded by Hunsley on a nice play. His throw to first will be in time, and a very good play from the third baseman Grayson Hunsley on the first out of the ball game. And it'll bring up Cooper Eisenbeis, the left fielder. Sonnenschein is out in left. George Stallion center. Charlie Simpson in right. Grayson Hunsley, who made that fine play, to his left, is playing third. Dawson Getz at shorts. Carter Schuffelbein at second. J.J. Buckles at first, and Nolan Peterson behind the plates. First pitch to Cooper Eisenbeis will miss upstairs for ball 1. The count's 1-0. Aberdeen coming in with a .378 batting average. And when you got 20 wins in 25 games, you're going to have a pretty good team batting average. 8 home runs in total, 238 RBIs of the 291 runs they've scored in 25 games this year. That one's over for a strike, and the count goes now 2-1 to Cooper Eisenbeis. And for Miles Doyle, this is going to be start number 4, 13 2/3 innings so far for Doyle. Didn't have the outing against Harrisburg, only just lasted 1 inning and giving up those 7 runs, as that one's fouled out of play, and the count's now 2-2. But he's given up 17 hits in these 3 starts, 14 runs, 13 earned, 8 walks, 19 strikeouts, and ERA is up to 6.66, and whip at 1.83. 2-2 is just a bit upstairs. Almost got Eisenbeis to swing at it, but it's now a full count. The batting average against Miles Doyle, .309. The 3-2 pitch misses low for ball 4, and it will be a 1-out walk issued to Eisenbeis, and the first base runner here in the top of the first inning. Zane Backus, the number 3 hitter. So you had Southring, Eisenbeis, and now Zane Backus. Philip Zenz, the cleanup man, playing short. Brendan Livermont, the third baseman, will bat 5th. Jordan Foss, the DH, batting 6th. Lance Sifkin, the right fielder, batting 7th. Jackson Landner, the first baseman, batting 8th, and Talon Dutenhofer, the catcher, batting 9th for Aberdeen. That one's fouled out of play on the left side, and the count's 0-1. And for Miles Doyle, 68.67% of the time, he's thrown a first pitch strike, which when he's throwing a first pitch strike, which for Post 8 at 57% at the pitching staff, really helps lower that batting average against, lower the whip as well. The count's 0-2 as that curveball dropped in for a strike in the lefty Backus. Getting ahead 0-1 the count is the big key. Here's the 0-2 pitch. There's a line shot down the right field line, and that is going to be fared down the line, and it will roll all the way out to the corner. Rounding third and trying to come into score is going to be Eisenbias. Backus will stop at second. It's a one-out double, RBI double. All the way to the 324 sign out in right field, and Aberdeen has got a 1-0 lead. So Doyle goes up 0-2 in the count, but still gives up the RBI double, and Aberdeen's off and running. Here at the top of the first, an RBI for Backus, which is, for him, going to be RBI number 24 on the year. So here is now the cleanup man in Philip Zenz. First pitch over to him will be over for strike one. Zenz so far in the season, .431 batting average. South Frank, Backus all have over 400 batting average. Vining, who's not in the lineup, has over 400 batting average. Here's the 0-1, swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2. This is a very good hitting team. As Zenz at .431, 5 doubles, a triple, 29 runs driven in, which is second on the team. Vining at 31 is the team leader, but again, he's not even in the lineup for game number 1. 0-2 pitch, that one's fouled back and just to the left of the press box. And the count remains at 0-2. You are listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront broadcasting station. Just past 5 o'clock, we're 3 batters in the game with an 0-2 count on the cleanup man. And already a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen on an RBI double from Backus. That one reaching for and grounding it foul down the first base line was Philip Zenz, the shortstop. Post 8 at 1-11 on the season, 0-4 over the Dakota Classic. This, as Miles Doyle will have to get a new baseball. I think that one might have got a little bit of a rip to it after it was fouled off from Zenz. But Post 8 went 0-4 in the Dakota Classic, and there was a lot of positives to take from it, a lot of good pitching performances, a lot of good hitting, but everything just didn't come together. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout of Zenz, and there is now 2 down here in the inning, and it brings up Brendan Livermont. So Brendan Livermont's got a chance to try and make it a 2-0 lead here at the top of the first as he digs in. .391 batting average. Talk about all those guys with above 400 batting averages, and he's just 9 points shy of that. Does have a home run, a triple, 5 doubles, 15 runs driven in. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Now they are 20-5 in the season. And Aberdeen is the likes of Watertown, Spearfish, Post 22 in Rapid City, Post 320 in Rapid City. They don't play a spring baseball season. They go straight into Legion baseball. So while Post 8 is at 1-11, playing 12 games, and Aberdeen has played 25 games to this point, it is a lot different when you add on the fact that they did not play any spring baseball games. 2-0 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 2-1. But they are undefeated at home, 8-3 in South Dakota games. So it's good to be at home against Aberdeen. You got a shot to at least beat them, not having to go play at Fossum Field. That one's fouled away to the right, and the count's now 2-2 here to Brendan Livermont, the third baseman. A 1-out walk and a RBI double for Zane Backus has given Aberdeen a 1-0 advantage. Here, the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. 2-2. That one is upstairs, and the count is full at now 3-2. Looking to keep this inning Limited damage of just that one run. On deck is Jordan Foss, the DH. 3-2 pitch. Runner takes off. It's going to skip in. And to third will go the runner with a stolen base and a walk issued, a second walk of the inning. And it's now first and third for Jordan Foss, the DH. And for Foss, 500 batting average, but just 9 for 18 in total in at-bats. Does have 3 doubles, but 13 runs driven in those 24 plate appearances. That's a lot of RBIs for having just 9 hits on the season. So he comes up in pretty big spots and drives in runs. And he's got an RBI opportunity here. Backus leads away from third. Livermont at first. 1-0 pitch, swing and a miss. Counts now 1-1. Looks like the bottom fell out of that one. Swung over the top by the DH Foss. 6 man to come to the plate here in the first inning. Here's the 1-1. That one is upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. Miles Doyle getting another start here against South Dakota opponents. It's going to be a lot of the case throughout the season. This one is flown out to center field. George Stalley is over there. He'll make the catch and retire the side here in the top of the first inning. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 to 2 men left on base. After half an inning, Aberdeen leads Pierre 1-0. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Why am I so sore?
There are everyday moments.
Hey, hold the ladder! Hold the ladder! Yeah, that hurt.
And there are epic moments.
Slide! College! Class of 1995!
When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics. We're moving health forward so you can tell the story. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
We welcome you to the bottom of the first as Post State is down 1-0 in American Family Insurance. Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard, as it will be the top of the order for the Eights in the sun and shine. Carter Schuffelbein, Dawson Getz. He might reach his base. J.J. Buckholz, the cleanup man. He's playing first base. Charlie Simpson will bat fifth. He's a right fielder. Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, will bat sixth. George Stalley, the center fielder, batting seventh. Cooper Twilliger, the DH, batting eighth. And Nolan Peterson, the catcher, will bat ninth, as they will go against Grant Byer. And for Grant Byer so far on the season, he will be throwing his fourth start and fifth appearance overall. 12 innings so far, 2-1 with a save. 17 hits, 8 runs, 6 of them earned. 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, a 3.5 ERA and a 1.75 whip. 321 batting average against. As we also welcome in Blake Dean to the broadcast. And Blake will talk a lot about these hitters here for Post State who hit the ball well over the course of the Dakota Classic. But one of these guys, Sun and Shine, hit the ball really well, and his batting average is .419 coming into this doubleheader as he waits on the first pitch and will foul that one on a check swing, and the count's 0-1 here to Sun and Shine.
And Sun and Shine's one of those guys, John, that he's got a lot of potential. One of the younger guys on the roster, but, you know, Coach Iverson's got a lot of confidence in him, clearly hitting him leadoff, and he repaid that trust as he skies that one down the left field line, foul and out of play for strike 2. Actually, it stayed in play. The wind must have caught it. Just landed in front of the wall. Left fielder kind of gave up on it, but it did stay in play for strike number 2. But like we were saying, Sun and Shine repaid the faith that Iverson showed in him, and he's really had a hot start to the season, especially picking it up in the Dakota Classic, like you said.
In that Dakota Classic for Sun and Shine, a total of .385 batting average, as they swing and miss by Sun and shine, and there's one down. And it will bring up Carter Schuffelbein, who also hit the ball well at the Dakota Classic. A .438 batting average in those 4 games and a .350 batting average right now on the season. Just all singles so far, but 7 for 20 overall with 3 runs driven in. And these top 2 guys in the order are in the top 2 for a reason. They have earned their way to be into the top 2 in the batting order, as the first pitch will be upstairs for ball 1.
And again, 2 of the younger guys on the roster in Sun and Shine and Schiffelbein will be just finished up their freshman year this year. Both of them, they will be sophomores this upcoming school year. So a lot of baseball in front of these 2 young men.
Swing and a miss on the off-speed pitch, and the count's now 1-1. Overall, Pierre hit .314 as a team at the Dakota Classic, obviously going 0-4, but their batting average up to .247, which is about 40 points, I think around 30 to 40 points higher than what it was prior to the Dakota Classic. As Schuffelbein will sky this one in foul territory, left side. Long run, Eisenbeis will come in. He will make the catch. He really jogged over to make the catch, and there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the first, and it will bring up the number 3 hitter in Dawson Getz as we go around the horn defensively for Aberdeen. It is Eisenbeis who is out in left, Drew Southrank in center, and Lance Sifkin in right. Brendan Livermont is at third, Philip Zinz at shorts, Zane Backus at second. It is Jackson Ladner at first, Talon Dutenhofer behind the plates, and Grant Beyer, the pitcher, as the first pitch to Dawson Getz will be fouled back in the count's 0-1. Gets in a home run. The 3-run shot had his 2 extra base hits. First 2 extra base hits were that triple and a double, or excuse me, triple and a home run that was hit at the beginning of the Dakota Classic as he comes hitting .242 with 9 runs driven in. He hit the ball really well. .455 batting average over the last weekend as well, as the count's quickly 0-2 to Getz.
And I think that's what you're seeing, John, is Coach Iverson's really, rewarding the guys that are hitting well by hitting them at the top of the lineup here in their first games after the Dakota Classic in this doubleheader against Aberdeen.
Here's the 0-2 now from Beyer. And Getz will get a piece of it, fouling back on the left side. The count remains at 0-2. And had mentioned it too prior to the game starting, and as the game got started, that Post State did a lot of good things over the Dakota Classic weekend. The 0-4 is not really indicative, and the 1-11 record is not indicative of the progress that Post State has made, as this one's popped up on the right side, foul territory, backing up the first baseman, and it will be caught by Ladner to end the inning. And it's a 1-2-3 inning with 2 foul outs in the inning by Post State. No runs, no hits, no errors. No one left on base. We head to the second 1-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Back in a minute.
The Toyota truck family. Outlast and outlive every adventure. The Toyota Tundra is large and in charge with exceptional performance, making the powerhouse ultra-capable for practically any task. The Tundra delivers proper performance with a twin-turbo V6 engine and 10-speed automatic transmission for when the going gets rough. Whether you're conquering off-road trails or hauling the weight of the world, the Toyota Tundra at Capital City Toyota is offering great APR rates as low as 1.99% for 48 months, with other specials up to 72 months for qualified buyers. Contact a sales professional at Capital City Toyota today.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
As we welcome you back here, top of the second, 7-8-9 for Aberdeen. It is a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen. Heading to the top of the second, Lance Sifkin, Jackson Ladner, and Talon Dutenhofer will be the first 3 hitters. After an RBI double from Zane Backus in the top of the first, it'll be Lance Sifkin to lead things off, the right fielder who is coming in and hitting at .333 on the season. Double, triple, 10 runs driven in, just 7 for 21. The first pitch misses for ball 1 to Sifkin. The 1-0 pitch. That one will bounce in as well, and the count's now 2-0. A lot of names that, if you listen to Hawaii Capitals hockey, that you hear from the Aberdeen Cougars on this team. Backus, Eisenbeis, maybe not Eisenbeis, but Sifkin, Dudenhofer. A couple names that play for the Aberdeen Cougars as well. As that one's over for a strike, the count's now 2-1. And Blake, this team, 378 batting average in 25 games. Obviously, at 20-5, you're going to have guys that are going to hit the ball really well. But up and down the lineup, as that one's out towards right field, down the line, that will be foul. As Charlie Simpson gave it a chance, but out of his reach, and the count is now 2-2. But this is a team up and down the lineup that you really don't catch a break 1 through 9 against Aberdeen.
No, and you're right then in the fact that this team is won, as many games as they have for a reason. They really pound the baseball when they're in the batter's box. And really, when you look at the pitching side too, they've got a deep rotation. They have, I think, at least 5 guys coming into this doubleheader that have thrown 15-plus innings. And, ERA-wise, a lot of them look really solid. As that will be a base on balls to Sifkin. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. Okay.
I was going to say, that wasn't so bad a handwriting that time.
I was looking here.
Okay. That's bad handwriting, too.
Okay.
But Jackson Ladner now will come to the plate. Lance Sifkin drew the leadoff walk to bring up Ladner, the first baseman. Ladner is hitting so far at 212 batting average. I mean, 212 is, I'm not going to say, it's obviously not a bad average to have, but overall, that's one of the bottom averages on this team. And there's a lot of times as it counts 0-2 here to Ladner. The 212 batting average usually got guys under the 200 mark, especially this late in the summer. Guys with a lot of at-bats, just, maybe going through a slump. But 212, that's as worse as you're going to get. It will be a swing and a miss, a check swing from Ladner, and there's a strikeout for Doyle, his second of the ball game, and there's one down here in the top of the second. And it'll bring up Talon Dutenhofer, the catcher. If those are your guys at 212 to be the bottom of the barrel of your batting average, you're doing something good at the plate.
Yeah, you are. And, bottom of this Aberdeen lineup are going to be the guys that you want to attack if you're Miles Doyle. Like you said, Ladner coming in with a 212 average in 64 plate appearances. Dutenhofer sitting a little bit better, 296 in 73 plate appearances. But, these guys near the bottom of the order are the guys you're going to want to attack because, like you said, they've got 5-6 guys in this order that are hitting at or above 400.
Dutenhofer will take ball one as Doyle will come from the stretch with one out here in the top of the second. That pitch will go above the head, and ducking underneath it was Dutenhofer. Ground ball and get you out of the inning and keep that top of the order from coming back up here in the second. And for Doyle, a chance to maybe get a clean inning after a 1-2-3 inning for Aberdeen's pitching staff in that first. This one will be skied up on the right side. Backing, pedaling is J.J. Buckles. He'll give way to Shufflebine, who'll make the catch in foul territory. And there's 2 down here in the top of the second. And it will bring up now the top of the order in Drew Southring. Good play from all around for Buckles, who he's going to be a senior next year. And for Shufflebine, going to be a sophomore. Easy for Shufflebine to not speak up and say he's got it because he's got an easier play on it, and for Buckles to allow him to take it. It's good communication between those two guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Good maturity there from Buckles, not necessarily taking over, letting the underclassmen make the easier play, and good communication by Shufflebine on the other end.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. This will be popped foul. It'll be right over the top of the press box, and the count's now 1-1. Here to Drew Southrank, who ground out to the third baseman, Grayson Hunsley, in his first at bat. It's a good play to Hunsley's left. The outstretched glove to make that leadoff man, to retire the leadoff man in the top of the first. There's another ground ball. That one's going to be too far for Hunsley this time to try and make a play. So a base hit through the left side. It is first and second here with 2 outs. Second base hit of the ball game for Aberdeen, and it's now the number 2 hitter in Cooper Eisenbeis.
Yeah, just a good piece of hitting there by Southrank. He went right in between the third baseman and the shortstop of the post 8 into left field, and that puts runners first and second here, so runner in scoring position now for the Smittys with 2 outs.
Eisenbeis drew a walk his first trip up. There's a ground ball to Dawson Guess. He'll go the short way to second to retire the side. Here in the top of the second. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 men left on base. We head to the Bottom of the second, 1-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
People helping people. Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Wahi Federal Credit Union member? At Wahi Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Wahi Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Wahi Federal Credit Union.
Bottom of the second is a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen. The American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. It'll be 4, 5, and 6. J.J. Buckles, Charlie Simpson, Grayson Hunsley as the Eights will be looking for their first base runner against Grant Beyer, who got 2 foul outs in that first inning. As we're just underway, game 1 of a doubleheader between Pierre and Aberdeen. The lone South Dakota game of the week for Post State. They'll have 4 South Dakota games with 2 different opponents next week. It'll be Tuesday, Wednesday. They will be in Watertown in a makeup date against that post-17 team, as Watertown and Pierre were supposed to play at the beginning or at the end of May. That was supposed to be the first games of the season. Got postponed. They'll play on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday they will host Spearfish to close out the month of June before their next home games starting in the month of July, with one more before the 4th of July. First pitch here from a Beyer to J.J. Buckles. He'll swing and miss at the top of the zone for strike 1. Buckles over the weekend, he went to 222 batting average, drove in a couple runs, and 2 RBIs in total, and overall in the season right now for Buckles, 125 batting average, swings and misses again at the top of the zone. The count's 0-2. He swings hard at everything, and when he makes contact, you can see that ball fly for Buckles. The 0-2 pitch, he's swinging a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout here to open up the bottom of the second. And that's overall for Buckles, you could say probably has been the problem for him, is he's got good swings. He looks good when he swings. He's just not making the contact right now, and ends up with it's now his 10th strikeout of the season in a total of, for Buckles, 25 at-bats. As it's Charlie Simpson, the right fielder, that will step to the plate, and this will be popped up to the right side. Coming in as the right fielder, and Sifkin to make the catch. And there's now 2 down here in the bottom of the second. And it will bring up Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman. So 5 up and 5 down here for Beyer.
Yeah, Beyer's looked sharp so far. He's setting down the 8s in order here to start this ball game. And, Beyer on the season, just pulling up his statistics here, you read them before we started the broadcast. He comes into this game having thrown 12 innings, 3 starts, and 4 appearances, 2-1 on the season, as that is taken by Hunsley for ball 1. 2-1 record. He's got a save with. Oh, we split it here. Okay, 4 walks, 9 strikeouts, and a 3.5 ERA. So, a guy that's gonna, let the ball go in play, let his defense make plays, and so far the Smitties have done just that.
Counts 1-1 here to Grayson Hunsley. 1-1 pitch to him is fouled back, and the count's now 1-2. Hunsley coming in 143 batting average, but on the weekend 182. Had a double, had an RBI as well in there. Went 2 for 11 overall for Hunsley. 2 runs driven in for him this season. The first RBI of the year back against Brookings. The 1-2 pitch. There's a ground ball on the left side. Coming in, the fielded as a shortstop in Zenz. His throw to first is in time. And it's a 3-up, 3-down inning again here in the bottom of the second. 6 up and 6 down to start the ball game for Grant Beyer. 1-0 lead for Aberdeen after 2 innings. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
The lawyers at the May Adam Law Firm in Pierre know how important your families are to you. If you've been putting off getting your affairs in order, know that the May Adam Law Firm is available to counsel you through your questions and help you get the documents in place so that you've made your loved ones secure. Call them at 224-8803 and they can chat with you about how to document your concerns and care for your family. We're all in this together, and the May Adam Law Firm is ready and able to help.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Top of the third, it is still 1-0 for Aberdeen on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard. And for Aberdeen, it will be 3, 4, and 5. Zane Backus, Philip Zenz, and Brendan Livermont be the first three hitters for the Smitties. RBI double in his first trip to the plate for Backus. So watch the first pitch go high and outside for ball one. Didn't even get a chance to tell you that Backus hitting .453 coming in. That was his 24th RBI of the season, which is now third best on the team, behind Casey Vining and teammate Philip Zenz, who is on deck as it counts 1-1. Vining again not even in the starting lineup for Aberdeen, and might be their best hitter overall, as that one's fouled out of play by Backus, and the count's now 1-2. Because Vining is hitting .448 with 31 runs driven in, 4 home runs for Vining so far in the season. That's pretty good spot. 1-2 pitch. It's up high and outside. The count's now 2-2.
Yeah, and Vining's one of those guys, you know, he, not only is he hitting .448 coming into the game, he's slashing .458, .560, .793 for an OPS of 1353. So, you know, statistically the best hitter on the team if you look at not only batting average but on base and account for slugging percentage as well.
3-2 count here to Zane Backus, leadoff man here at the top of the third. Doyle working from the stretch with nobody on base. This will be popped up on the left side. Long run for Hunsley in foul territory. He's able to get there to make the catch. Good play from Hunsley going to his right. And the leadoff man is retired here in the top of the third. And it brings up Philip Zenz.
Sorry, I was reading the statistics for Vining. We were looking at Backus. Backus is technically the second best hitter on the team as well.
Because I had been talking about Vining, how well he was doing. But,
gotcha.
but that's also saying how good Backus is, that he's not even the best hitter on the team by stats.
Well, but even in that regard, you know, Vining and Backus are really 1-2, because Backus is .453, .604, .719 for an OPS of 1323. So really, you know, it's a percentage points difference between the two of them.
And then probably the number 3 guy in that for batting is right here at the plate, and Philip Zenz, who has nearly got the 30th RBI. He's one shy of that, as he's 0 for 1 though with a strikeout. The 1-1 pitch from Doyle, that'll be over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2. Wind kind of blowing from left to right and a little bit trying to find its way into the press box, making Blake's sheets go everywhere.
Yep.
1-2 pitch. That one will miss low, and the count's now 2-2.
Losing all of my stuff.
.431 batting average for Philip Zenz coming in. That OPS at 1.097. 2-2 pitch. Curveball taken for strike 3. Second strikeout of Zenz. He couldn't pull the trigger on it. And third strikeout for Miles Doyle overall. And there's 2 down. And it brings up Brendan Livermont, who had a walk in his first trip to the plate. As he'll step in, and Miles Doyle looking with those first 2 guys retired, maybe for a quick inning here at the top of the third inning. First pitch will be upstairs for ball 1.
And Doyle's looked really sharp, you know, a little slow out of the gate to start, but he's really, really settled in. And when Miles Doyle is in a zone, he is, you know, one of the better pitchers in the state of South Dakota.
This will be popped up, and it will be foul out of play, as it was Nolan Peterson not really fighting the home plate umpire, but trying to move around Mike Sarda to try and get to the ball, which obviously ended up didn't matter anyway because the ball landed out of play. The count's now 1-1. That wind might have helped it get out. The flag is, you just heard the wind kind of coming through the crowd, Mike, but the flag is pretty much almost laying still. Now it's starting to pick back up again. 1-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike. The count's now 1-2. Just tells you how, well, one for South Dakota, just in general, how windy it can be in a second and be very calm the very next, just, 400 feet away. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout, a pitch in the dirt of Brendan Livermont. 2 strikeouts the inning and a 1-2-3 inning for Miles Doyle on the third. We head to the bottom of the third inning. Post 8 down 1-0 to Aberdeen. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Verdict Electric has a long history of doing electrical work the right way. Economical service, professional work, and customer satisfaction is why they can say that. Verdict Electric can do residential, farm, and commercial projects. Doesn't matter if they are charged with new construction or a remodel project, they get it conducted. Contact the staff at Verdict Electric at 224-8684. They can light a spark into your next project. Verdict Electric, 224-8684.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
It is the bottom of the third, 1-0 lead for Post 8, or make that for Aberdeen over Post 8 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it will be 7, 8, and 9 here for the 8s, trying to get their first base runner. George Staley, Cooper Twilliger, Nolan Peterson be the first 3 hitters here for the 8s, as the Smittys and Grant Beyer 6 up and 6 down to start the ball game. With only 1 ground out, a couple flyouts, and 2 strikeouts in the ball game so far for the Smitty's starter. And we sing the praises of Post 8 hitting the ball well over the Dakota Classic. Hopefully we didn't really throw a jinx on them, or mostly me to start this game. Hopefully we didn't throw a jinx on them. That hitting will be a little bit of an issue. First pitch swinging for George Staley, backhanded. It was partially drought, but then still was able to come away with it. Was Philip Zenz. It scooped off of his glove. He picked it up in midair still and fired a strike to get George Staley. And the shortstop makes a fine play on the leadoff man, and 7 in a row retired to start the ball game now for Beyer.
And that just shows you what kind of an arm Zenz has, because not only did he bobble it, but, the fact that he picked it up and threw it still got George Staley out by a step. And George Staley is one of, if not the fastest kid on this Post 8 team. So really, really got a cannon of an arm, does Philip Zenz at shortstop.
First pitch to Cooper Twilliger is over for a strike. The 0-1 pitch from Beyer. That'll miss low, and the count's now 1-1. Twilliger did not play this past weekend. .333 batting average, though, overall, with 4 hits and an RBI. The OPS at .641 for the rising sophomore, as Twilliger will foul that one out of play, and the count's now 1-2. You look at almost by OPS. There's a couple guys that are maybe a little bit up there, but average-wise, 3 of your best hitters in Post 8 are all going to be sophomores, which, after Nolan Peterson, who is can probably fit in that 4 guys. Obviously, he's a senior this year. But with Twilliger along with Sonnenschein and Shufflebine, 3 of your better hitters so far the first part of the season are going to be sophomores. There's a swing and a miss by Twilliger, and there's 2 down. And that's 8 straight retired to start the ball game for Beyer. And it brings up now the catcher, Nolan Peterson.
Yeah, just climbed the ladder there, did Beyer, and Terwilliger couldn't hold off. Swings through it for strike 3, out number 2 for Beyer, who has thus far set down the first 8 Post 8 batters in order.
Peterson now will step to the plate, hitting .258 on the season. First pitch to him will miss low for ball 1. OPS at .691 for Nolan Peterson. 2 doubles, 2 runs driven in for Peterson, 8 of 31. He has hit that slump in the year where, we saw him hit almost 400. It dipped below 400 at the end of the spring season, hasn't really been the start that he's wanting to have on the summer, and it just looks a lot worse than what it really is for Peterson, because you went from having a 400 batting average to now being under 300, as this will be out towards right field, out to the gap, and that's going to get down for extra bases. First hit of the ball game. Peterson will round first. He's on his way to second. He's got to stand up 2-out double, and the inning will continue for the leadoff man in Sonnenschein. And we're just about to mention, too, for Peterson, who started to get a couple hits, had a base hit on Sunday, had a couple hits as well, went 2 for 3 in the second game on Saturday, that it looks a lot worse because your batting average started back over. If it's later in the season, it happened in the high school season, you started out fine in the summer, you don't even notice it. But because of how it started in the year, as Sonnenschein will take strike one, that you feel like you maybe got to press a little bit more. But for Peterson, starting to kind of work his way out of it right now with a 2-out double.
Yeah, it's never fun to reset the batting order when you've had a good start to the year, but on the flip side, if you've had a poor start to the year, it is nice to have that option.
Ground ball, the shortstop Zenz will field the back end to his right. The throw to first will be in time, and the slick fielding shortstop will make 2 plays in that inning. And no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on base. 3 innings complete here at Hyde Stadium in Game 1. A 1-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Beck Motor Company, your local Chevrolet dealer in Pierre, would like to thank all our customers for their business. This year, we are celebrating an amazing 55 years in business. We appreciate each and every one of you. Our family-owned and operated Chevrolet dealership is dedicated to providing our customers with top-notch service in every department. We offer a vast inventory of new, used, and certified pre-owned Chevrolet and Cadillac vehicles. Our staff is committed to helping you find the perfect vehicle that you will love for years to come. Check out our inventory at www.beck-motors.com. Beck Motor Company, Pierre.
Are you or a family member receiving Medicare calls asking if you've received your new Medicare card? This should be a red flag, as Medicare is not sending out new cards, and Medicare will not contact you to ask you about your card. If you have, or someone you know has received this type of call and they gave out their Medicare number, please contact the South Dakota Attorney General's Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
Top of the fourth, 1-0 lead for Aberdeen over Poe States. As we welcome you back here to Hyde Stadium, and it will be 6, 7, and 8. Jordan Foss, Lance Sifkin, and Jackson Ladner, the first 3 hitters. He might reach his base talent, and Dutenhofer will come to the plate. And I got to say, for Aberdeen, Blake, they got some of the best last names in sports.
Absolutely.
In general. You get Eisenbeis, Livermont's a great last name too, but Dutenhofer is a fantastic name. They had a hockey player, Postumus, great last name. The Aberdeen community's got, they might have the best last names in the state.
Yeah. You look at names like Eisenbeis and Livermont, there's some Eisenbeises and Livermonts that have some peer ties as well.
Yep.
Dutenhofer, ironically enough, I work with his aunt because his aunt lives here in town. So, they do have great last names, but a lot of these kids, probably, whether directly or indirectly, have some connections family-wise to people that live around here as well.
As that one's fouled away by Foss, and the count remains, or is at 1-2. Is that 0-2, excuse me. It stays at 0-2. And the count to the 0-2 pitch here from Doyle is upstairs, and the count is now 1-2 here to Jordan Foss. He flew out to the center fielder, Stalley, to close out the first inning. He's 0 for 1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 2-2. But especially when you get into, hockey can be that way too. More so probably than a lot of other sports, but you just start rattling off last names and just how quick some of those last names have to be. As that one's lined to Stalley out in center. He'll make the catch. The leadoff man is retired as he lines out to Stalley again, does Foss, and there's one down here in the top of the fourth, and it brings up Lance Sifkin, another hockey name for Aberdeen. And you're seeing, Brookings kind of the same way too, that you get a lot of hockey guys that translate into playing baseball. Obviously, Pierre's got some hockey players, more so this year than the last year. I think Johnny Lyons was the only one in the senior Legion team. Obviously, Carter Sanderson was too.
Yep.
Because that's the reason why he's not playing for Post State baseball this summer and he's going to go to play USHL hockey. But there's a lot of hockey guys that just translate into playing baseball as it counts 2-0. I mean, go back Elliott Life and Andy Gordon, 2 hockey players that translate to playing some really good baseball for Pierre for Post State. This was a ground ball to the right side. Buckles will field it. Miles Doyle will come over to field it and play the position at first. And there's 2 outs and a good play from Buckles to Doyle, 3-1 on the putout. And Post State got burned on that 3 different times in the weekend at the Dakota Classic, twice in back-to-back plays, where the pitcher was a little bit slow to get over to that first base bag, and Doyle was very quick to jump off the mound and be ready to field in the position at first. As the first pitch is over for strike 1 to Jackson Ladner.
And I guarantee you that Coach River Iverson, after this weekend, coming back to practice, that was probably one of the major points of emphasis was, working on pitchers, covering first base, doing some pitchers fielding practice, because, that's something that, you're probably going to have guys throw during tournaments that don't throw a whole lot during the season, just because you're really running low on arms, as the count's now 2-1. But, that's one of those things that, you got to ingrain in your mind, if you're on the mound, that's a responsibility that you have, is to cover first base on a ground ball to the first baseman.
2-1 pitch will miss low, and the count's now 3-1. Yeah, any ground ball to the right side, the first instinct should be just jumping off the mound and starting heading to first base, regardless of where the ball might be fielded, because you might be needed. 3-1 pitch. There's a ground ball. Hunsley over at third. That skipped off of his glove and then stopped by Getz before it got in the outfield. It'll probably be a base hit, and it will be a hit for Ladner, an infield single. And there's now a runner on first with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th, and he'll bring up Talon and Dutenhofer. Your college coach, though, I always still think about and laugh that he wished that there was a trap door.
Yeah.
After your pitcher threw a pitch, he wished there was a trap door to get him to fall into, as that was over for a strike to Dutenhofer. But pitchers are important to fielding the position, the PFPs, and to go to first base. And they're not only out there just to throw. They're athletes out there as well. There's a ground ball up the middle. Dawson Getz will take it to the bag himself. Almost ran into Carter Shufflebein, but he'll step on the bag to retire the side here in the top of the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. A 1-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Back in a minute.
If you're like a lot of South Dakotans, you've made a purchase online for services or products and have had no issues. Unfortunately, scammers view the internet as their playground, and they're constantly deploying new scams to attempt to take your hard-earned funds. Fraudulent websites have grown by leaps. Consumers and businesses need to check all aspects of a website before making any type of purchase. Questions regarding this scam should be directed to South Dakota Attorney General's Consumer Protection at 800-300-1986.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Bottom of the 4th inning, it is a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen on the American Family Insurance, the Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard, as it will be for the 8s, 2, 3, and 4. Carter Shufflebein, Dawson Getz, and J.J. Buckholz. Anybody reach base, it'll be Charlie Simpson that will come to the plate. Between games, it is the hometown hero night, as we will be honoring the lawn chair gang that will be getting the award. We'll have it here on the KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports as well, as the lawn chair gang, who has been a fixture for Post State and for Pierre baseball for several years, and a lot of years, even though they weren't necessarily lawn chair guys or the lawn chair gang, they were still a fixture for Pierre baseball and have been for so many years.
Yeah, and, they weren't necessarily, a collective unit yet. When I played, like there were people here, but they hadn't named themselves or anything like that. But within the last probably 7 to 8 years or so, there have been enough of them that have really come together and really donated a lot of money to the program, really supported the program, and really have, they've been a foul ball sponsor for a number of years now. And they really deserve a lot of recognition and a lot of praise because, without the contributions of people in the lawn chair gang, who knows where post-state baseball would be right now. They have really made a positive difference in this program for the better.
Counts 1-1 to Carter Schuffelbein, who flew out in foul territory to the left fielder in his first at-bat. The 1-1 from Grant Beyer. Schuffelbein with a fly ball towards the left center field, mostly towards center. To the right, the catch made by Southfrank, and the leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the fourth, and it will bring up the number 3 hitter in Dawson Getz. One big thing that that if you come to any Pierre game, and sometimes we mentioned it the last home game, that foul balls, you get $1 for every foul ball, and that's thanks in part to the lawn chair gang. That's at one point I'm going to get that $1 bill from the lawn chair gang because I'm getting a foul ball. This will be skied out towards right center field. The center fielder in Southfrank will call off the right fielder Sifkin to make the catch, and there's back-to-back outs, 4 pitches in the inning. And it'll bring up now J.J. Buckles with nobody on and 2 outs. But they have, like you said, they haven't been a collective unit for as many years as they've been supporting Pierre baseball. But they finally said, hey, why don't we just put all the resources together and we can have the group together and not have to worry about trying to do it all separately. As Buckles will swing at the first pitch and foul that one back for strike one. So it'll be a lot of fun to see all those guys down there, and guys and girls down there for a picture and to receive the Hometown Hero Award that will be handed out between games. Here's the 0-1 pitch to J.J. Buckles. That one is skied out towards left field. That one's going back. It's going to hang up, though, in front of the warning track, and the left fielder in Eisenbeis will make the catch, and Buckles just missed a home run to try and tie the ball game up. But another 1-2-3 inning, the third of 4 innings for Grant Beyer. 4 complete here at Hyde Stadium, and a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. For almost 60 years, AGE has been building South Dakota. For all your site work construction and crane work needs this season, AGE is here to help. Give them a call. AGE Corporation and Crane Service, 223-2732. That's 223-2732. AGE, proud supporters of local sports.
At AgTegra, we're leveraging the power of the cooperative to benefit our farmers and ranchers, their families, and local communities. We're creating jobs for your neighbors and putting money back into our communities. We're lending a hand in our rural fire departments, food banks, and 4-H and FFA programs. That's what local is all about. When you do business at AgTegra, you help us make a difference in your community. AgTegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
As we welcome you back here, top of the fifth, it is a 1-0 lead for Aberdeen on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. John Winkler alongside Blake Dean. As we head to the top of the fifth, it is to the top of the order. Drew Southfrank, Cooper Eisenbeis, and Zane Backus. 30 pitches remain for Miles Doyle as he has thrown 75 through 4 innings. And on the flip side, for the starting pitcher, Grant Beyer, he is in no worry about the end of his day. 35 pitches through 4 innings. Not even averaging 9 pitches an inning, barely under 9 pitches an inning, but you think about trying to 15 pitches right around there. That's if you can do about 15 per inning, you're feeling pretty good at being able to try and get all 7 innings. That one's grounded fair down the third base line, past Grayson Hunsley to his right, and a base hit to lead things off at the top of the fifth. And Southfrank is now 2 for 3 in the ball game as he has got now 2 of the 4 hits for Aberdeen.
Yeah, just a nice piece of hitting there from Southfrank, taking the ball that was inside on the pitch there from Doyle, going down the third base line past the outstretched glove of Hunsley as Doyle attempts to pick off Sal Frank before throwing a pitch here to Eisenbeis here. But, yeah, just a hard single down the line. Didn't look like Sal Frank was maybe thinking too. He did take a hard round to first as Eisenbeis will look at strike one. But that's the leadoff base runner reaches for the Smitties, and Aberdeen's, they've only had 4 hits thus far. Miles Doyle doing a good job as another pickoff attempt is made over to first base, but it's looking to be, this is the time of the ball game where if you're one of these teams, you gotta take advantage.
Here's a ground ball to Getz over at short. He'll quickly throw to second for one. The first not going to be in time, but they do get the lead runner. And there is one down here in the top of the fifth, and a good turn there from Getz and Scheffelbein. And obviously with Eisenbeis running down the first base line, unable to get him for the double play. But there is one down in the fielder's choice, and it brings up the number 3 hitter in Zane Backus, who does have the lone RBI of this ball game. He doubled home the run in the top of the first inning when he line shot that went all the way to the right field corner, and that hooks around there, that corners in, that really can mess with that right fielder, and that's in foul territory where it happened, where it skipped its way into foul territory, where it ended up being bouncing around in the wall out there, where Simpson had to pick it up, and with the runner on at first, and that was Eisenbeis, and his speed, he was easily able to score. Here's the 0-1. That'll miss low, and the count's now even at a ball and a strike here to Zane Backus. Sal Frank with 2 hits, Backus with that double, and Ladner with the single in the fourth. The only 4 hits so far for Aberdeen. Post State with just 1 base runner so far, a double by Nolan Peterson. As Byers throwing 35 pitches through 4 innings, facing 1 over the minimum. Here's a line shot right back up the middle, almost hit Doyle, but it's into center field for a base hit. And he's now 2 for 3 in the ball game. So number 1 and number 3 hitters are combined 4 for 6. Everybody else with just 1 hit so far. And it brings up Philip Zenz, who is 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, this is going to be a big at-bat here in this ball game because Doyle has kept the 8s in it to this point. 1 out here in top of the 5th, and, this at-bat, in theory, depends on how things shake out from here, but could decide the ball game.
First pitch swinging for strike 1 to Philip Zenz, who, again, 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. The ground ball gets you out of the inning. A strikeout, and third strikeout of Zenz would be just fine, too, for Post State. 0-1 pitch. That one's over for a strike on the curveball, and the count's 0-2, and Zenz really hasn't looked too comfortable against Doyle in the first 2 at-bats.
That's and really in this at-bat either, John. I was just going to mention that right before you said it. Is, swung at a fastball up above the letters, chin high, and then he watches a curveball for strike 2.
Here's that one, though, will be to the left side through the hole for a base hit. They will hold up the runner. Station to station goes everybody. Another single, 3rd hit of the inning, and the bases are now loaded here with 1 out for Brennan Livermont. This is the spot in the ball game where Post State, this is a spot that can win you or lose your ball game for Aberdeen and for Post State.
Yeah, absolutely. And Zenz really got fooled on that one, too. He didn't look comfortable at all there either. Curveball from Doyle, but Zenz, poked his bat out there, put one between third base and shortstop, and that puts everybody on base, a runner to every base for the Smitties. And that brings Livermont to the plate, like you said, with 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
1-0 is the count here to Livermont, who has a walk and a strikeout. The count's 2-0, and Doyle's got to find the strike zone here. Ground ball back to him. Could start a 1-2-3 double play, and Coach Zabel will make his way out and have a conversation with Miles Doyle. As this is, and for Coach Zabel and for the coaching staff for Post State, they know how important this is to try and get these guys out, and especially this guy to get out.
Yeah, it's a huge at bat, and like you said, this is the at bat that's probably going to decide the baseball game. And good move there by Coach Iverson and Coach Zabel to have a mound visit right here kind of calm down Miles Doyle and ask him how he wants to attack Livermont the rest of the way here.
They do have some activity on the left field bullpen for Aberdeen, as it will be Casey Vining that is warming up. We also now have some activity on the right field bullpen for Post 8, as it will be Trevor Rounds that will be making his way out there to get loose for Post 8. 2-0 pitch. That one just missing inside. The count's now 3-0, and Doyle has to find the strike zone here. 3-0 is the count. 3-0 pitch. Swinging it and fouling it away was Livermont. It was a strike. He swung at a strike, but a 3-0 count with the bases loaded and one out. You might think about giving the take sign, but Livermont was swinging at it. Here's a 3-1 pitch. That'll miss for ball 4. And the run will come in to score. Bases loaded walk, which also burned the Eights over the weekend as well. It's now a 2-0 lead for Aberdeen here in the top of the 5th. And it brings up now Jordan Foss, who is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to Stally out in center. Third walk issued by Miles Doyle in the ball game, and this will hit him now. And back-to-back guys will score, and the bases are still loaded. An RBI hit by a pitch for Foss, and it's a 3-0 lead for Aberdeen.
Yeah, just, frustration a little bit there from Doyle. As you saw after that pitch was thrown, he, took his glove off and slapped it. He's coming up close to the pitch limit. I think he's just getting a little bit fatigued right now, as, biggest thing I think he needs to focus on right now is taking a deep breath, settling in, letting the emotions settle down as that one gets away from Peterson, and that will score another run here for the Smitties, make it a 4-0 ball game. But I think biggest thing Miles Doyle needs to do right now is just settle down and take a deep breath, take some time, and really focus on the zone. And that's the biggest thing that'll keep the Eights in the ball game right now.
And this will be the 94th pitch of the ball game for Miles Doyle. 2-0 pitch will be at the outside corner for a strike, and the count's now 2-1. So a 3-run inning. There is 3 hits in the inning for Aberdeen, but all 3 runs have scored by a walk, hit by a pitch, and a wild pitch. 2-1 pitch. That one is at the knees, and it's now 2-2 here to Sifkin, who is 0 for 1. He walked in the second and grounded out to Buckles on a 3-1 putout in the 4th inning. That one's a line shot. Buckles will make the catch. Throw back to third. Blocked up by Hunsley to make sure it didn't get away. And Buckles made a nice snag on a hard hit ball down the first base line. That definitely would have scored both runs if that hadn't gotten through. And the second out now here in the top of the 5th, and that's a big second out to bring up now Jackson Ladner.
Yeah, that's such a huge play there by Buckles. And really, I thought he had a chance to pick off the runner at third base in Livermont. And he did try to throw over there. Good job there by Hunsley, showing off the catcher skills to block it in front and keep it from going away from him. But you're right, big second out here for the Eights, as now the batter in Ladner has a 2-0 count with runners on second and third, 2 outs.
He is 1 for 2. Struck out in the second, singled in the 4th. Base hit can make it a 6-0 lead. That one's outside. The count's now 3-0. And this will be pitch number 100 upcoming here for Miles Doyle. So I think they're going to try and get him through this 5th inning if they can. And would probably assume that they'll start clean in the 6th. The 3-0 pitch over for a strike at the letters, and the count's now 3-1. And pitch number 101 upcoming here for Miles Doyle. 3-1 pitch. That'll miss for ball 4. So you can at least maybe go get one more guy, as the number 9 man, Dudenhofer, will come to the plate, but they won't let him try and get that last out here in the 5th inning. They will go to the bullpen. Bases are loaded here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th inning and a 4-0 lead for Aberdeen. Back in a minute, we'll tell you the changes. You're listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. Brought to you by Limebach Construction Incorporated, who can build your recreational home or building along the beautiful lower Lake Oahe area. Whether if your hobby is hunting, fishing, travel, or water sports, we can come up with a building design that will fit your interests and expectations. We pride ourselves on using quality products, customer service, and open communication. Limebach Construction is locally owned and operated, serving the Missouri River community since 1994. For area of service and information, contact Bill Limebach at 605-223-2738. That's 605-223-2738.
As we welcome you back, you're listening to KCCR Pierre, a Riverfront Broadcasting Station. Emma Thielen is back at the station. Blake Dean is with me. John Winkler here on this Wednesday night as we are just at 6 o'clock. A 4-0 lead for Aberdeen. We are with 2 outs in the top of the 5th, and the bases are loaded. And it's Trevor Rounds that will be looking just to get this guy out. You have no room for error for Rounds. It's a tough spot to come in. But for Trevor Rounds, he will try and get the number 9 man in the batting order, 9 man coming to the plate, and Dudenhofer to start this, or to start his outing to end this top of the 5th inning, as it's been 3 runs for Aberdeen as they lead at 4-0. Miles Doyle, you can't close the book on him, but 4 2/3, 6 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. He is responsible for all 3 runners on base. So it's been 4 runs so far against Doyle, and you hope that's the case. It's just 4 runs, as he will not be available again until next Tuesday when they take on Watertown. He'd be available Monday, but he will not be able to pitch at all in the Minot tournament after throwing 101 pitches here in this ball game. So Trevor Rounds will have a chance to try and end this 5th inning. And for Rounds, he's thrown 5 2/3 innings. This will be his second relief appearance, 3rd appearance overall. 7 hits, 10 runs, all of them earned, 7 walks, 4 strikeouts. The ERA at 12.35, whip at 2.47, batting average against at 3.04, and a 400 batting average with runners in scoring position. So this is a big spot here for Dudenhofer as away to the first pitch as it misses low for ball 1. So the number 9 man who is 0 for 2 with the pop out and a ground out.
Man, this is a guy, if you're Trevor Rounds, you really want to attack, because lineup really turns over after this hitter, and then you're really staring at trouble down the barrel as, the top of the lineup comes up with bases jammed.
1-1 pitch, curveball that drops in for a strike, and the count's now 1-2. See if Rounds can get out of this inning here. 1-2 count with 2 outs and the bases loaded. Dudenhofer will await the pitch on its way. That one's high and outside, and the count is now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sun peeking out here at Hyde Stadium. We're a long ways away from even having to turn the lights on right now, because it's just only 6 o'clock. 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Rounds will get the strikeout and put an end to the top of the 5th inning. But 3 runs do score on 3 hits in the inning. There are no errors and 3 men left on base. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Aberdeen now leads at 4-0 over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Comtech, your local technology solutions provider, is now located on the truck bypass. With great brands like Bose, Sonos, LG, Samsung, Lenovo, and so much more. Stop in to see their new showroom for everything in stock for your personal or business needs. Comtech provides professional installation and service after the sale. Comtech is your local technology store, located now on the truck bypass, or visit us on the web at comtechplus.com.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
It is the bottom of the 5th, and it is a 4-0 lead for Aberdeen on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard, as The pitcher in Grant Beyer has not thrown any warm-up tosses. Dudenhofer, the catcher, was the last man at the plate and struck out swinging, and as they were trying to get guys to someone to go catch for him, the one guy that came out in Soderlund, Donnie Soderlund, did not have a mask with him, and the umpire's like, no, you can't do that. You got to at least have a mask on. And so now as Dudenhofer is trying to fix his mask, although Beyer's only thrown 35 pitches, which could be help or hurt, that maybe he doesn't need to throw a whole lot of warm-up tosses, but also he just hasn't thrown that many pitches at all, so he might have to warm up a little bit more.
And that's, to that point, the activity in the left field bullpen, the Smitty bullpen, maybe that's the starter for game 2, just getting loose out there, because Beyer has been as efficient as you can possibly be if you're pitching Legion baseball. And so, maybe that's just the starter for game 2. But I'm surprised that they have activity going up down there in the left field bullpen due the Smitties.
Now, they do play Renner on Friday, the Renner Royals on Friday, and Harrisburg Maroon on Saturday. So depending on where you want to go, being a Wednesday, 1 day rest, maybe you try and get Beyer out there quickly. But, if you had 2 days rest or just needing 3 days rest, it'd be a little bit different. At 2 days, you can probably get away. But 1 day rest, you're really cutting him short with exactly how well he has pitched so far. That was only pitch number 36 as it's strike one here to Charlie Simpson. And it is 5, 6, and 7 for the 8. Simpson, Grayson Hunsley, and George Stalley. He might reach his base. Cooper Twilliger will get a chance to hit here in the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch. This will be popped up on the infield. It is going to be in front of the mound as Beyer walked off the mound to make the catch, and the leadoff man is retired here in the bottom of the 5th. And it will bring up now Grayson Hunsley, who is 0-for-1 with the ground out.
And it looked like the pitcher in the left field bullpen for the Smitties was Vining, who, and maybe you'd mentioned that already, but he is, he's really only thrown about 8 innings so far this year. 1 start, 2 appearances, so not a lot of games that he's thrown thus far this year, but maybe like we talked about, maybe he looks to get the ball here in game 2 as Hunsley takes ball 1 in the dirt.
I was going to mention too, the Vining was warming up pretty much the entire top of the 5th and until that first out in the bottom of the 5th inning, as this will be grounded over to the third baseman. And Livermont took a high hop to him right in the chest to make the catch, and the throw to first is in time. And a ground out. There's 2 down now here in the bottom of the 5th, and it will bring up George Stalley, who is 0-for-1 with a ground out to the shortstop. But he almost threw more pitches in that warm-up bullpen, or in the bullpen right now, than Beyer has thrown so far in this ball game, as he's just up to the 40, nearly nearing the 40 pitch count mark, and almost through 5 complete innings here. Stalley swung at the first pitch back in his first at bat. That pitch will hit his helmet, and he will take his second base runner, and the first mistake pitch from Beyer in this ball game. And Post State will have a 2-out base runner for the second time after Peterson had a 2-out double in the third. It's now Cooper Twilliger with 1 on and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. If you're going to get hit in the helmet, you might as well get hit by a curveball.
Yeah.
Still got a little bit of ring to it, but not nearly as bad. As Twilliger will pop this one up. Foul territory. It's going to be a long run. Sliding and making the catch is the first baseman and Ladner to retire the side. Nice play. Sliding in was Ladner. And another foul ball out against Post States in this ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 6th. Aberdeen leads Pierre at 4-0. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Nystrom Electrical Contracting in Pierre has been providing professional sales, service, and installation since 1977. Whether you're starting from scratch, new construction, or you're upgrading your current system at your home, farm, or office, give the professionals at Nystrom Electrical Contracting a call. They've got a lot of bright ideas. Call Nystrom's today to schedule a free computer-generated estimate. The number is 224-8750, or visit their website at nystromelectric.com.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
It is the top of the 6th inning, and it is a 4-0 lead for Aberdeen on American Family Insurance Brittany Schoffelbein scoreboard. And it will be for Aberdeen. It will be the top of the order again. Drew Southfrank along with Cooper Eisenbeis and Zane Backus after they were able to score 3 runs in that 5th inning to take a 4-0 lead. Again, Miles Doyle, the book gets closed on him, giving up those 6 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 4 2/3 innings, throwing 101 pitches, whereas counterpart has thrown just 41 pitches through 5 innings, as the first pitch will come in for ball 1 to Drew Southfrank, who is 2 for 3. And Blake, you can calculate it up pretty quickly, 8.2 pitches per inning for the starting pitcher in Grant Beyer, as that one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1.
I don't think I've ever seen a pitcher be as efficient as Grant Beyer has been through 5 innings in this baseball game, John. At least not at the Legion level anyway. Like, you don't ever see a guy throw less than 9 pitches an inning, maybe for a couple innings, but never for 5. It just an absolute masterclass of pitching put on by Grant Beyer here this evening.
So it was my senior year of high school, and I didn't even make it through the entire game. We ended up losing the game, too. I had 2 different 4-pitch innings at one point. There's a fly ball out towards right center field. Long run for Stalley. He'll get to it, and he'll make the catch in the gap. The leadoff man is retired, and it's Southfrank now 2 for 4 in the ball game, and he'll bring up now Cooper Eisenbeis, who is 0 for 2, reaching on a fielder's choice last inning. Threw 2 pitches, got 2 outs. Coach on the third base coach just yells out, take a pitch the first time. Next, he takes a pitch. The next pitch, he pops out and get out of the inning. 2 innings later, get the first 2 guys on 2 pitches, and the coach was much more annoyed the second time through, and his take a pitch, and took a pitch. Well, the next pitch, he popped out again, and I got out. I had 2 innings with 8 pitches in total, and I still didn't make it through all 7 innings. We ended up losing the game. It was a close game. I think we lost like 4-3 or 3-2, something like that. But I couldn't find my way through all 7 innings. And that was before pitch count, too, so it didn't even matter how many pitches I threw.
Right.
But I was very efficient at one point. Here's the 1-1 pitch, over for a strike, and the count's now 1-2 here to Cooper Eisenbeis. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 6th inning.
Ladies and gentlemen, your play-by-play man is as efficient as they get on the mound.
1-2 pitch is outside, and the count's now 2-2. I tried to be, and I hated
at least through 2 innings.
Right. I hated walks. Walks. If you really listen to my voice calling a baseball game, which I don't know why you would really want to. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout, and there's 2 down now here in the top of the 6th. The second strikeout now for Trevor Rounds, and it will bring up Zane Backus, who is 2 for 3 with a double and a single. If you really listen to my voice, when there's a lot more walks in a ball game, you can feel the frustration a little bit from me. I'm a guy that, I think there's a lot of people that would say the same thing, but walks really, really irk me. Whether I'm playing my team, I'm watching my team play, watching any game, walks just kind of make my blood boil. This one, he popped up on the left side. Long run for Hunsley, going out towards the foul territory, and he just can't make the catch. He got into the warning track area, and it was just out of his outstretched glove as he kept looking. He looked down to see where the wall was at, looked back up, and just couldn't quite come away with it. Never slowed down, though, but couldn't come away with the catch, and the count's now 1-1.
Yeah, good effort there by Hunsley over in foul territory. That's a tough place to maneuver over there. Especially with the wide warning track between the fence and the fence and where the grass ends. That was taken at the shins there by Backus to make it a 2-1 count.
2-1 pitch from Rounds. That one's off the hands, out floating towards right center field, but backing up is Schoffelbein from the second base position to make the catch, and a 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Rounds here in the 6th. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on base. To the bottom of the sixth we go. 4-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Schiffelbein Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
It is the bottom of the sixth, and Post State is down 4-0 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schiffelbein scoreboard, and it will bring up 9-1-2. Nolan Peterson, Sutton Sunshine, and Carter Schiffelbein. And really, Blake, this is a good spot for Post State.
Yep.
Peterson has been in this leadoff spot in the lineup before, so you're really getting a double leadoff here to start the bottom of the sixth inning, in which, with Post State down 4-0, this is maybe what the doctor ordered for a lineup to try and get some runs in.
Yeah, it is. And I think with Peterson maybe leading the way as a senior, you're maybe going to see him take a pitch or two because Grant Beyer hasn't had to pitch with guys on base all day, and it showed because that was pitch number 42 here through 5+.
Well, one pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 1-1. I think if he does not put the ball in play, this will be the longest at-bat of game one for Post State of any two times through the order. I don't know if anybody has seen more than 4 pitches in an at-bat, but this will be the third pitch of the at-bat. 1-1 pitch to Peterson. This will be roped out towards left field, but hanging up is going to be Eisenbeis to make the catch. The leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the sixth inning. And what Bayer's doing so well is that he's throwing strikes and putting the ball in the zone.
Yep.
Guys are getting themselves out, and not in ways that they're swinging at bad pitches. You can't, on a 1-1 pitch, you can't take that for Peterson. That was down the middle. You had to do something with it. It wasn't necessarily right down the middle, but it was in the strike zone. You got to swing at it. And now down 1-0 the count to Sutton Sunshine, that hasn't happened very often that he's been down the count 1-0. He's really been ahead of almost every single hitter for Post State, unless they're swinging at the first pitch. That was a 1-1 count now here to Sunshine.
And you've mentioned it on the radio multiple times, and I think it's a very valid point, is the importance of the first pitch strike to any batter is so important when you're on the mound because that really sets the tone for the rest of the AB.
This will be popped up, foul territory behind home plate. The catcher and Dudenhofer make the catch. And that is another thing that Post State is not catching any breaks on, is that all these foul balls are not getting out of play.
Right.
They're being caught by Aberdeen. They're not even getting down somewhere in foul territory. They're getting caught by everybody. The first baseman and Ladner made a sliding catch coming in. This one behind the plate, and the catcher in Dudenhofer makes it. Eisenbeis made a catch out in left field in foul territory. There have been a lot of guys that have fouled out in this game, as Schiffelbein will take strike one, and the count's 0-1 to Schiffelbein, who is 0 for 2. Then you throw on the fact that he's looking for his fourth 1-2-3 inning in 6 innings is Beyer. 0-1 pitch. This will be flown out towards the left field. Coming in is Eisenbeis in the left center field. He'll have to make a sliding catch as well and retire the side. Another 1-2-3 inning for Grant Beyer, who has been magnificent on a one-hitter so far through 6 innings. 4-0 lead for Aberdeen over Pierre as we head to the 7th. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
It is the top of the seventh, and Post State down 4-0 in the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And for Aberdeen, it will be 4, 5, and 6. Philip Zenz, Brendan Livermont, and Jordan Foss. Anybody reaches base. Lance Sifkin. First pitch is missing for ball one. Rounds at a 1-2-3 inning in that top of the sixth. He's retired all 4 guys that he has faced so far in order to start his relief appearance. 1-0 pitch. There's a ground ball to Dawson. Gets over it short. Bobbled, but picked back up. It was hit too hard because Getz was able to stay with it and to make the play to retire Philip Zenz, as one shortstop will ground out to the other. And there's one down here in the top of the seventh.
Yeah, good job by Getz there to stay with it. Is, like you said, Zenz hit it right on the button, on the ground, right at Getz. Getz bobbled it a little bit, but stuck with it and was able to fire across to first for the first out of the inning.
First pitch is over for strike one. Now here to Brendan Livermont, who is 0 for 1, 2 walks, 1 with the bases loaded. He's struck out his only time that he's been retired, and the only at-bat he's had. That will be spiked by Rouse, and the count's now 1-1. If you're going to throw a 50-foot curveball, do it with nobody on base.
Yeah, why not?
Here's the 1-1 pitch to Livermont. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. You never know if Vladimir Guerrero might be up there to think about maybe swinging at it. 2-1 pitch. That one's upstairs, and the count's now 3-1.
Again, we're maybe showing our age because I remember
it's not Vladimir Guerrero Jr., it's Vladimir Guerrero Sr. that did that.
We watched him play.
Yeah. 3-1 pitch will miss for ball 4, and it's a 1-out walk issued to Livermont. And third walk that he has taken is now Jordan Foss. Had a teammate, one of my good friends, Spencer Sander, who never saw a pitch he didn't like to swing at.
There you go.
And he actually got a base hit off of a pitch that hit the ground. I still don't know why he really swung at it, but he liked to swing at just about everything that came up to the plate. Ended up, it bounced, and he still swung at it, and ended up getting a base hit over the, I think he hit the other way and right over the third baseman's head.
That's a story you tell your grandkids right there.
Yeah.
But the story continues to, become more and more exacerbated every time. Yeah. Hit one off the ball bounced, 15 feet in front of the plate, and I hit it off the wall for a triple,
Right. And I'm the only guy that's ever had a ball hit the ground and I hit a home run off of it. 1-1 pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 2-1.
Well, didn't Vlad do that, though? Did he hit a homer, or did he hit just a base hit?
I think he got a base hit.
Was that what it was? Okay.
All these video edits, I think that they made one where he end up they showed him hitting a home run. This will be a hit batter. There was a chance. No, they're going to say it's a foul ball.
I was going to say.
Nope, they are going to say that he is going to get to first, and it's first and second now with the hit batter, and it'll bring up now Lance Sifkin.
Isn't the hand considered part of the bat?
I think I don't. It's got to be on the swing, on a full swing to consider something like that, or even a check swing.
Boy, if I'm Pierre, I maybe appeal that then, because it sure looked like at least a check swing on that.
I think the hard part with the umpire between first and second, between first and second, harder to see if he had checks or had swung or not. But it is now Lance Sifkin with first and second and 1 out First pitch to him is over for strike one.
It's still worth a try, though, you know? Like, I don't know. Worst they can say is that it hit him and they still end up in the same predicament anyway.
You're right, yeah. Have a conversation about it and see if maybe he saw something different or heard something a little bit different. 0-1 pitch upstairs, and the count's now 1-1.
That's one of those, like, baseball rules that nobody understands situations, or very few people understand.
Right, because they're the time where you feel like the hands are part of the bat and it should be a foul ball, and sometimes it probably does end up being that way. As this one's flown out towards right center field, long run for Staley, still going back over his shoulder, and it will fall and roll up against the wall. One run will come in to score. A second run they're going to try and wave in. Dawson gets, the runner will stop at third, and it will be an RBI double for Sifkin, and a 5-0 lead now for Aberdeen here in the top of the seventh with one out. And Jackson Ladner now will come to the plate. So that is just the second RBI for Aberdeen with the ball put into play. The other being an RBI double in the first from Zane Backus. First pitch is upstairs for ball one to Ladner, who is 1 for 2. A strikeout and a single, and also walked in that fifth inning. 1-0 pitch. That one's grounded foul, and moving out of the way was the runner at third. He was in foul territory, so even if it ended up hitting Foss over at third, he would still be considered a foul ball. Counts 1-1. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, per the KCCR Research Department, the hands are considered part of the body, not the bat. But if there is considered a swing and it still hits the hands, it's considered a strike, not a foul ball.
Okay. So you can't swing at a hit that hits your hands and it drops in front of the plate. It is not going to be a ball in play.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep.
So the count is now 2-2 here to Jackson Ladner. I think they tried to. I feel like at some point they were trying to maybe change that or something, or they were. I'm sure. I'm sure Yankees fans were whining about it sometime and when the rule be changed, but I feel taking a shot at the Yankees. 3-2 pitch. Ground ball down the third base line. That's right over the bag, and that is fair. And one run will come in to score. They will round the other run. The throw from Getz is just up the first base side, and 2 runs will come in to score with it'll be a 2 RBI single, and advancing to second on the throw will be Jackson Ladner. And he will have his second hits, and now it's a 7-0 lead for Aberdeen here in the seventh. And it's Talon Dutenhofer that will come to the plate.
Yeah, Ladner just pulled that one down the third base line just outside of the reach of Hunsley at third. And you're right, I don't think he could have hit that any better because that ball goes right over the third base bag, lands essentially on the chalk for do you rule that a single or a double there? I suppose you probably rule it a single, and then the throw came to the plate, so then he took second on the throw. But regardless, base hit for Ladner, and 2 runs score on the play.
There's a swing and miss and a pitch in the dirt from Dutenhofer, and the count's now 1-1. So another 3-run inning here for Aberdeen. They now lead at 7-0 in the seventh, and Post State will have 3, 4, and 5 in the bottom of the seventh inning to try and have a massive rally against a guy that is throwing less than 9 pitches per inning through 6 shutout innings. As that pitch is upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. And really where you're sitting at in a 7-0 game for Trevor Rouse, unless you get to a point where you'd like to keep him for the weekend when you play 4 guaranteed games on Friday and Saturday. There's a ground ball. Getz will field his throw to third. Hunsley will put the tag applied, and the runner at second, and Ladner will force his way out, being thrown out at third, and a good play from Getz to Hunsley, and there's now 2 down, and it will bring up the top of the order with the runner on first, and Drew Southrank, who is 2 for 4.
I was just going to mention that. That's a good play by Getz to go where the ball takes you. Ladner decided to try to take third on a ball that was hit on the left side into the throwing lane of Getz. As that ball is popped up foul, both Peterson and Hunsley will give chase, and Peterson just missed a basket catch up against the wall. Maybe thought the ball was going to hit the netting, but just missed the catch as that ball lands harmlessly for the first strike for the leadoff batter in Sal Frank here.
So he'll get another chance. Long run for Peterson behind home plate, and where, I don't want to say that it's been easy catches for Aberdeen to make in foul territory. They made some difficult catches, but that was the farthest track foul ball behind home plate, as this will be grounded over Getz. He'll have to try and short hop it, and it will go off of his glove. That'll probably end up being a base hit. That's a tough play for Getz to make over at short. And it's now first and second here with 2 away, and it'll bring up Cooper Eisenbeis. Another hit for Aberdeen, which will be their third here in the inning and 9th of the ball game, as they lead at 7-0, and Cooper Eisenbeis got a chance to extend the 7-0 lead. First pitch, swing and miss for strike one. I mentioned too, with where Trevor Rounds is at, and you're probably going to stick with him to try and get through the 7th inning. If it becomes an issue where you want to have him saved for Friday or mostly for Saturday at this point, but trying to save him for Saturday, that'd be the only thing of getting him out before the end of this half inning. But otherwise, to try and save arms for game 2. You're not throwing in the towel by any means, but when you're down 7-0, you're going to ride out your reliever, especially with another game to play.
Well, especially with 2 outs, too.
Yeah.
You want to let your reliever kind of end on a high note and go from there.
1-1 pitch is fouled off of Peterson. The count's now 1-2. So, again, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 for the Eights in the 7th inning. But they have gotten just 2 base runners. Stalios hit by a pitch in the helmet. Nolan Peterson doubled. The only 2 base runners so far for Post State, and 1 hit shutout right now through 6 innings for Grant Byer. 1-2 pitch. Rouse delivers. Ground ball on the left side. Dawson Getz will field. His throw's got to come to first. It's a low throw. It's dug out, but it's going to be off the glove of Buckles. So both runners will advance. And it will end up being an 8-0 lead now here for Aberdeen, with runners at the corners and 2 outs. It'll be the 9th man to come to the plate, and Zane Backus.
Getz made the play in the hole, just didn't get necessarily the time to set his feet. He tried to make the throw too low on the throw, and unable to scoop it was Buckles. Probably goes down as an error for the Eights, and that allows a run to score.
So the first error by either side, as that first pitch will miss low for ball 1.
First unearned run to the ball game.
You're also correct. 1-0 pitch here to Zane Backus. The runners at the corners and 2 outs. This will be flown out towards center field. Stally will move to his right. He'll make the catch and retire the side here in the 7th. But another 9 guys come to the plates. This time 4 runs score for Aberdeen. On 3 hits, there was an error and 2 men left on base. We head to the 7th. Post State needs 8 runs to keep this ball game alive. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified pre-owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com.
It is the bottom of the 7th, and a 4-0, make that an 8-0 lead now for Aberdeen here in the 7th, and it'll be a chance for Grant Byer to try and close out this game. He has thrown just 49 pitches through 6 innings, so he is closing in on an excellent 7 innings of work and a chance to almost, really almost be at that 2-day rest period and not even have to be 3 days of rest. The last time, Isaac Pollock in 2021, maybe in a high school game, in a spring game, I think threw 70-some pitches in a 7-inning game. There's not too many guys that can say they could potentially throw under 70 pitches in a 7-inning game.
Yeah. Or maybe it was well, they didn't have spring season in 2020, did they?
They did not. No, I think it was 2021.
Okay. Yep.
Might have, it had to have been 2021. But it will be Dawson Getz to lead things off 3, 4, and 5. First pitch is over for strike one. As Getz is 0 for 2 so far. Popped out of the first baseman as well as also to the center fielder in his 2 trips. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a line shot to the shortstop. 1 hopper for Backus. He'll float it over to the first base bag, and the leadoff man retired here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, it's a nice play there by Zenz at short to throw out his counterpart and Getz for out number 1, and that will bring J.J. Buckles to the plate. Another 2 pitches for Byer, just continuing to roll along here.
It's almost a track to see if he can stay under 55 pitches. That's pitch number 52. That's upstairs for ball 1. He's only got 2 strikeouts. Did Buckles and Terwilliger, and Terwilliger might have had the only 4-pitch at bat because Buckles struck out in 3 pitches when he had hit one of the 2 strikeouts. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 1-1. Here to J.J. Buckles, who also flew out just shy of the warning track to the left fielder Eisenbeis back in the bottom of the 4th inning. Thought maybe the Yates were going to be able to tie the game up at that point. 1-1 pitch. That'll bounce in. The count's now 2-1. They scored 1 run the first at Aberdeen. A RBI double from the second baseman Backus. And then 3 runs scored in the 4th with an RBI bases loaded walk, RBI hit by pitch with the bases loaded, and a wild pitch scored the 3 runs. And then a 4-run 7th as this will be fouled away, and the count's now 2-2. A 5-pitch at bat. So
and now he's going to have to.
Yeah, he's going to
have to rest for a couple days now.
Right, yeah, he's going to get to 56 pitches on this upcoming pitch with then Charlie Simpson on deck. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a fly ball. Right center field, more center field as they'll be moving to his left to make the catch. The center fielder in Sal Frank, and there's now 2 down. And 56 pitches with 2 outs here in the 6th inning for Grant Byer to face Charlie Simpson to try and get a complete game shutout. And it might be one where you almost don't even need to ice after the game.
Yeah, right.
It's like, this is just not even a bullpen, full bullpen. Here's the first pitch. Simpson swings and misses for strike 1. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to the right fielder, his counterpart in Sifkin in the 2nd inning, and then popped out in front of the mound to the pitcher in Byer here. That was in the 6th. Make that in the 5th inning. 0-1 pitch. Swinging a foul. The count's now 0-2, and the Eights are down to their final strike here in game number 1. And again, we'll have here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports, we'll make sure that we get you the hometown hero honor ceremony here in between games. We'll have that before we end our YouTube broadcast and then get the second game going, but we'll have that between games. 0-2 pitch. There's a fly ball into shallow center field, but coming in to make the catch is Sal Frank in a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th and a 1-hit shutout for Aberdeen's pitcher Grant Byer. A 8-0 win for Aberdeen in game number 1. We'll step aside for 2 minutes, come back with totals. After this, you're listening to Post-State Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Wagner Auto Company is your complete transportation headquarters. Now is the time to order your new Buick, GMC, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram vehicles, plus a good selection of quality pre-owned and certified owned vehicles. They'll take care of you after the sale with a full-service parts and auto body shop with trained technicians, along with a friendly financing team that'll work with you to find the best deal and one that'll fit your budget. Wagner Auto is your local full-service family-owned dealership for over 115 years. WagnerAuto.com. That's WagnerAuto.com. Yag Air Incorporated is your locally owned ag chemical and seed retailer. Yag Air Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag Air for all your ag chemical and seed needs. Kyle 605-280-8710 or Tony 605-280-4771.
Sometimes you get a piece of it and the ball sails over the fence. Other times, despite your best efforts, you strike out. I'm not just talking about the game, I mean your day. This is Pastor Sam of Faith Lutheran Church. Whether today feels like a home run or a strikeout, I encourage you to join us for worship. We celebrate when God gives us a wonderful day. We provide support and encouragement when that third strike comes. Come join us for encouraging and uplifting worship at Faith Lutheran Church.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
As we welcome you back, as it is a final score in game number one, an 8-0 win for Aberdeen over Post State. It was 8 runs on 9 hits, no errors for Aberdeen, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error for Post State. Time of the ball game was an hour and 40 minutes as the Eights unable to get more than 2 base runners in the ball game. Aberdeen scored 1 run the first, an RBI double for Zane Backus, which ended up being the game winner as well. But then an RBI bases loaded walk for Brendan Livermont, RBI hit by pitch for Jordan Foss, and a wild pitch scored 3 runs in the 5th inning to make it a 4-0 lead for the for Aberdeen. And then in the top of the 7th, they scored 4 runs, an RBI for Lance Sifkin, a 2 RBI single for Jackson Ladner, and then an error with 2 outs in the inning, scored 1 more run to make it 8-0. Miles Doyle will pick up the loss, 4 2/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts. Trevor Rounds went 2 1/3 innings, giving up 3 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts for Rounds. Grant Beyer went 7 innings, giving up just 1 hit, no runs. He had no walks and only 2 strikeouts as he threw less than 60 pitches in the ball game to pick up the win. And Aberdeen is now 9-3 in South Dakota games as the Eights now fall to 1-7 in South Dakota games. We'll have a chance to maybe get the split against Aberdeen and kind of reset. We sing the praises of Post State hitting in the Dakota Classic. Didn't get the hits that they were looking for in this ball game. It just, guys couldn't find spots for it to land. There's a lot of foul outs too in the ball game, but for Post State, unfortunately, unable to pick up the win here in game number 1 of our doubleheader. What we're going to do here, because they're going to be working on the field for just a little bit, we will. I promise that we'll keep it on for game 1. So we will step aside again. We'll hear from News Director Zach Nelson. We'll hear his news. And then if the ceremony starts before we get to that point, we will come back on air. We'll cut the news short and come back on air and get you the ceremony for the lawn chair guys for lawn chair gang for the Hometown Hero Award. So we're going to take a minute break. We'll come back with News Director Zach Nelson, his 5 o'clock news, and then we'll proceed from there and make sure that you hear the Hometown Hero ceremony coming up from Heights Stadium. So back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
Why am I so sore? There are everyday moments.
Hey, hold the ladder! Hold
Yeah, that hurt.
And there are epic moments.
Slide, slide, slide. College! Class of 1995!
When a moment creates a health need, visit the experts at Avera Orthopedics. We're moving health forward so you can tell the story. Learn more at avera.org/orthopedics.
Pierce City and Hughes County Commissioners made quick work of a light agenda for the Pierce City Commission. Hughes County Commissioners took part in a joint meeting to consider 2 items in the extraterritorial area around and just outside Pierre. Pierce City Planner Emmeline Hoblick says the first joint action is on 2 lots in the Camelot Edition.
The proposed subdivision will split the 5-acre lot into a 3.8 acre and 1.2 acre lot. Both lots will have access off of Bond Place. The proposed subdivision will fit the covenants and previous subdivisions done in this development. Engineering studies are not required as the single lot subdivision in an existing development makes that unnecessary. The subdivision also fits the current zoning and won't require a public hearing to rezone.
The Joint Commission also approved a conditional use permit in the Shamrock Commercial Edition.
This request is for a conditional use permit to construct 3 contractor offices / shops on Grace Avenue in lots 1B4, 1B5, and 1B6 in Shamrock Commercial Edition in the extraterritorial joint jurisdiction. The proposal includes leaving the existing storage building that is on lot 1B4 and constructing 3 new buildings. The contractor shop use in local business zoning requires a conditional use permit.
Pierce City Commissioner Jamie Huizinga says a city needs areas where work can get done.
In order to have a community like this, you need a support place where you have buildings for contractors, farmers have them. I mean, there's a whole bunch of businesses out there, and they're going to have equipment sitting around, and that area has completely filled in the time that I've lived in Pierre in the 20-some years, and it's worked out perfect. All those different buildings and operations are all kind of in that confined area. It's good for our tax base, but it's also good for just businesses that need a building like that or a location.
In addition to the Hughes County Commissioners in attendance, Hughes County Planning and Zoning Director Eric Booth was also at the meeting. A Parmalee woman is facing charges in Hughes County following a reported assault in Pierre. Pierre Police Captain Dusty Pelly says officers were called Saturday night around 7:40 p.m. to the 800 block of South Washington Street for a reported assault. Investigating officers determined 31-year-old Rhea Farmer had punched a male subject in the face and had also swung a knife near the man in an attempt to cut him. Pelly says the investigation also indicated Farmer threw an object at the man, hitting him in the face. He did not say what the object was that hit the man in the face. The investigation also found Farmer to be high on marijuana at the time. As officers attempted to take Farmer into custody, she began to resist the officers' efforts. Farmer was eventually taken into custody and transported to the Hughes County Jail on charges including aggravated assault, domestic violence, ingesting a substance to become intoxicated, possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest. A summer study committee of the South Dakota Legislature focusing on artificial intelligence and access to the internet by minors met for the first time Tuesday in Pierre. After hours of testimony from the Department of Education and legislative groups on current laws in other states, committee member Senator Jim Melhoff of Pierre says the group should look at what's already in state law.
What I'm hearing is that we should look at our existing laws and regulating how AI is used, for theft by deception and various other laws that we already currently have on the books. I know we did that last year with respect to creating child pornographic issues, and it was discussed today how we changed those rules to incorporate AI into that. And I think we should probably be looking at all our other laws where AI could be used as a tool.
Representative Tony Van Huysen of Sioux Falls says he wants to know more about the impacts of electronic devices on students.
There are a lot of issues surrounding, and we heard about these from Dr. Griffiths and Dr. Graves today, about how artificial intelligence affects education, how it's used in schools, how it can be misused. That strikes me as a topic that's very important and in some ways could consume the entire task force if we really dove into it. I don't know if that's
the direction we want to go or not.
Co-chair of the committee, Representative Mike Wisegram of Fort Pierce, says the group will likely be split into subcommittees to focus down on areas discussed during the meeting.
The subcommittee route definitely makes sense to me. I think we'll review the minutes and see what subcommittees would make sense, and then contact several of you to see if you're interested in serving on those, and see what we can come up with that will be meaningful and maybe a little bit of a shortcut to the information that we're all searching for.
The committee's next meeting is planned for August. Pierre police have arrested 2 people in connection to an odd incident last Friday afternoon. Pierre Police Captain Dusty Pelly says officers were first called to the area near the intersection of Pawnee Street and Missouri Avenue around 4:30 p.m. on Friday, June 14th, for a report of a man being chased by an automobile. As officers arrived, they located the vehicle, driven by 24-year-old Brianna Redwater of Pierre. A short time later, officers made contact with the man identified as 32-year-old David Reinhardt of Pierre. As officers made contact with Reinhardt, he fled, running into an apartment in the 300 block of South Ree Street. Reinhardt was located and found with illegal drugs and drug paraphernalia on him. Redwater was taken to the Hughes County Jail on an active arrest warrant. Reinhardt was also transported to the Hughes County Jail on charges of obstructing an officer, possession of a controlled substance, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Pelly says no information was able to be obtained about the initial report of Reinhardt possibly being chased by the vehicle Redwater was driving. And Republicans in Congress are claiming votes showing up on controversial issues like abortion by Democratic leadership are coming up only to prop up the election chances for Democrats in November. South Dakota Senator John Thune called out the so-called show votes on the Senate floor Tuesday.
And I say that because all of these votes were clearly designed to fail. The Democrat leader knew that Republicans were not going to support a border bill that had previously been rejected, a contraception bill that would jeopardize the religious freedom of healthcare providers, or an IVF bill that would allow for human cloning and genetic engineering of human embryos. These were not serious attempts by the Democrat leader to legislate. These were future campaign talking points.
Thune says there are plenty of bills Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer could bring to the table.
The Democrat leader really wanted to legislate. He would be bringing up something like Senator Ernst's legislation to promote access to contraception, which has a number of Republican co-sponsors, or any one of the numerous common-sense border proposals Republicans have advanced, like Senator Blackburn's measure to allow state and local law enforcement to detain criminal illegal aliens for ICE to deport. But that's not the legislation the Democrat leader is bringing up.
Thune says the show votes will not sway Republicans in the Senate.
If he hopes to have us quaking in our boots over taking these votes, he should think again. Because Republicans are happy to have the chance to talk about the Democrat agenda, to talk about the disaster President Biden created at our southern border, or to talk about how, under the guise of protecting access to contraception, something that is not under threat, the Democrat leader brought up legislation that would not only funnel money to Democrats' allies at Planned Parenthood, but would wipe out conscience protections for health care providers.
Thune says he doesn't believe Americans will be fooled by the Democratic politicking. With your Riverfront Broadcasting News, I'm News Director Zach Nelson reporting. News anytime online at kccrradio.com.
AGE Corporation's Contractors and Crane Service is a proud supporter of Pierre Governor Athletics. For almost 60 years, AGE has been building South Dakota. For all your site work construction and crane work needs this season, AGE is here to help. Give them a call. AGE Corporation and Crane Service, 223-2732. That's 223-2732. AGE, proud supporters of local sports.
At AgTegra, we're leveraging the power of the cooperative to benefit our farmers and ranchers, their families, and local communities. We're creating jobs for your neighbors and putting money back into our communities. We're lending a hand in our rural fire departments, food banks, and 4-H and FFA programs. That's what local is all about. When you do business at AgTegra, you help us make a difference in your community. Agtegra, strong, stable, dependable, and local.
And we welcome you back here as we continue and get set for game number 2. We are getting closer to the ceremony for the lawn chair guys or the lawn chair gang that will be honored as the Post-State Hometown Hero. John with their alongside Blake Dean as we are getting set for game 2 as the Eights will be looking to try and get a split of a doubleheader against Aberdeen, get that second South Dakota win. With Aberdeen getting those first couple of games, or getting that first win, 8-0 behind a 7-inning shutout from Grant Beyer, who threw under 60 pitches in those 7 innings, barely averaged 9 pitches per inning, right around the 9 pitch per inning mark, as he was very efficient and very good through the 7 innings, with Aberdeen scoring a run the first, 3 in the 4th, and then make that 3 in the 5th, and then picked up 4 runs in the 7th to win at 8-0 over Pierre Post-State. We'll take another break here as we get set. So the lawn chair gang is getting close to being honored. We'll take another 2-minute break, make that a 3-minute break. We'll come back in 3 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. Brought to you by Limebach Construction Incorporated, who can build your recreational home or building along the beautiful lower Lake Oahe area. Whether if your hobby is hunting, fishing, travel, or water sports, we can come up with a building design that will fit your interests and expectations. We pride ourselves on using quality products, customer service, and open communication. Limebach Construction is locally owned and operated, serving the Missouri River community since 1994. For area of service and more information, contact Bill Limebach at 605-223-2738. That's 605-223-2738.
We welcome you back as the lawn chair gang is making their way down the field. We will have the honoring ceremony for the Post-State Hometown Hero for the lawn chair gang, who is receiving the Hometown Hero here tonight.
Started in 2019, members Bill Hedman, Rich Shaver, Lee Hanson, Todd Owen, Sid Kurtz, Rick Lumley, Scott Jones, Rick Miriam, Joe Freer, and Bob Justin might only give 50 cents is not enough for quickly for next all. The group decided to put money into a pool to help raise the funds to $1 for all 5 hours. It was the beginning of what became the lawn chair guys. As more members joined, the group pitched in money to help buy equipment and donations towards Pure Baseball. The gang has become a staple at games as any select group of individuals will sit on the first base side and their lawn chairs. In 2024, the lawn chair guys were renamed the Lawn Chair Gang, as they inducted their first 2 women into the group. The gang now has 33 total members. Those members include Craig Bump and Klein Furniture, Gil Hedman, Rich Shagrew, Dave Hanson, Todd Olemuller, Skip Kerr, Nick Lumby, Scott Jones, Rick Miriam, Joe Freer, Mike Oakland, Terry Erickson, Bob Judson, Paul Marceau, Bob Lowry, Brad Shufflebine, Rodney Stoser, Tom Rounds, Monty Bechtold, Fred Lillibridge, Brad Urbach, Rich Doyle, Mark Sweetman, John Buckholz, Elton Bleemaster, Steve Booman, Tom Gilsrud, John Burchell, Jim Pollock, Dave Runke, Doug Iverson, Deb Schuffelbein, and Sue West. Pierre Post State Baseball would like to extend our deepest gratitude to these members of the Lawn Chair Gang who have helped support Pierre Baseball even well before 2019 when the group began. Please join us in congratulating our Post State hometown heroes, the Lawn Chair Gang.
About 20 members of the Lawn Chair Gang are on hand for the Hometown Hero Award being handed out, as all the players will go and shake the hands of the Lawn Chair Gang as well, as that is a cool honor and a good honor for the Lawn Chair Gang, who has been part of Post State Pierre Baseball for so many years prior to them officially becoming a group themselves, but as individuals, they've all been supporting Pierre Baseball much longer than way back then in 2019 when they got started. So the Lawn Chair Gang has got their Hometown Hero Award, and we're getting closer to Game 2. We're going to end the YouTube broadcast here for Game 1. We'll come back in Game 2 in just a moment. You are listening to KCCR Pierre and KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. But we will take another break. We'll take another 3-minute break. We'll come back and have getting set for Game number 2. We'll get you starting lineups. All of that coming up